Hey, how are you? Hope everybody's having a great summer. This is Chief Burt, and this is a message particularly for my students, but also for anybody else. I know we have a lot of people that aren't associated with the program that from different states and even different countries that follow the webpage. So uh, I'm really excited. I'm meeting one of my life goals here today, and that's really what I want to talk about. I'm flying out today to start a climb of Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania in East Africa, and to go on a 3-day safari following that 7-day climb. And this is something that's been in the works for a long time, and I just want to talk about how it came to be. And this is a message that I try to share with my students quite a bit. And you can say I'm kind of in mountain man mode. My students probably aren't used to seeing me with a full beard. So that'll be gone by the time we get back to school. But anyway, we talk a lot about SMART goals, and particularly the way that I define a SMART goal is something that's specific, it's meaningful. We have to define the actions required. It has to be something that's reasonable, and it has to have a time constraint. So that's SMART, SMART. And it's something that you can apply really to anything, but I really want my students to realize that, sometimes things can happen, you can just kind of fall into them, but the majority of good things that happen in your life are things that you plan for, and, there's a right way to plan and a wrong way to plan. The SMART model is shown to be a really useful thing. So with regard to this trip, like I said, this is a major milestone in my life, and I've had a lot of things, a lot of big adventures, and this one will definitely be right at the top. So the specific element of it, it kind of came about. My father was always a big proponent of Africa. He read a lot about it, and he felt that it was very important, that as Africa goes, so will the world. And he kind of instilled that into me, to have an understanding of Africa, and to want to try to visit. And I have been to Egypt, but this is the first time that I've been below the Sahara and into East Africa. So that's where it came from. So the specific goal for me was to climb Mount Kilimanjaro and to learn a little bit about the culture and see what Africa is really like on a first-hand basis. So it became, and that also kind of covers meaningful. It's meaningful to me because of the connection with my father. My sister's traveling with me. It's a chance for us to kind of remember him and honor him, and do something that he would really admire. So as far as actions required, you can't just say, hey, I'm going to go to Africa and climb Mount Kilimanjaro. There's a lot of things that you have to do. You have to be in shape, for one thing, and that's something that I've always made a priority in my life. And you have to jump through a lot of hoops as well. For example, in order to go to Tanzania at all, you have to get immunized for yellow fever. You have to get immunized for typhoid fever as well, and hepatitis A, hepatitis B, which I already had the immunization for that for being a firefighter. You also have to be concerned about malaria, so I'll be taking a medication called Malarone while I'm in Tanzania in order to not get malaria. And then the mountain is in excess of 19,000 feet high, so altitude sickness is a real concern, and there is a medication that you can take called Diamox, and I'll be taking that in order to try to avoid some of those symptoms, which actually can get very serious if you, depending on an individual. And has nothing to do with the kind of shape you're in. It seems to be more genetic than anything as to whether or not you deal with altitude sickness. But anyway, so like I said, there are a lot of actions required, and then it became, is it reasonable? Well, yeah, because I had the wherewithal to take care of all these things. And then as far as the time constraint on it, we normally talk about short-term goals and setting in our SMART goal discussions, but in this case, I had this idea when I was about 35, but I did set a time constraint, and I said, when I turn 50, I'm going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and it's happening. So, but of course, I had to save a lot of money to pay for the climb. I had to prepare for it both mentally and physically, and take care of all these things. So, that's kind of the message is, I want you to understand that you may see people who do things, and you may say, well, how did he manage to do that? Or we may get envious of other people who accomplish things, and that never needs to be the case, because I believe that you all are capable of accomplishing whatever you want, and I definitely take you on this journey with me. I mentioned to a few of you that I'm going to take this. This is our sticker from the Fairdale High School Fire and EMS Academy, and this is going on the sign at the peak of Mount Kilimanjaro, and we're going to take a picture with it. So you're with me in this, and hopefully you'll consider me to be on your journey towards your goals as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you all again when school starts back up, and sharing this experience with you a little further. And we'll have a new instructor. Actually, I don't know if that's probably news to you, to many of you. That's another one of my goals that's kind of coming to fruition. It didn't happen overnight. It took us 5 years to go from the program almost being dead to having enough students that are involved in it and interested in it to have a second instructor hired. So, and like I said, that didn't happen just by chance. It was a very well-planned sort of thing, and as I've always said, you all can take credit for that as well, because those the students that have come before us and graduated, those that were there for that first year when I was just barely learning to teach and the program wasn't really what it is today, they can take credit for this as well. So, but I've rambled on enough. Got my dog's here, kind of missing. Gonna be gone for 2 weeks, so I'm missing her a little bit already. And I'll see you when school starts back up. Bye.